Hi, welcome back or welcome to My Cup of TV. I'm Jenny and I'm going to tell you about our experience of Paris and Musicbank. So I'm going to talk as well about our entire trip to Paris as well as Musicbank. So I will put a timestamp in the description if you're only interested in Musicbank. Otherwise, you can hear about our whole trip. So let's start with getting everything ready. So when Musicbank was announced, we were immediately in contact with Alex at Tino Sugar Reacts about the fact that we are going because it's Stray Kids. So yeah, I am lucky enough to have worked in Paris. I used to go there for work for like a week every month for about 2 years. So I took charge of booking everything. So we have an apartment about a 20-minute walk from the venue with great transport links into Paris. We're all set. Perfect. Now, the day before we are due to leave for Paris, I wake up in the morning to find an email from booking.com. Now, I've used them a lot because I thought it was a safe place to book. Apparently it's not, because my email from booking.com said that our apartment had cancelled. Yeah, obviously in touch with booking.com, I'm looking into it. Apparently the apartment that we booked in December and paid in full in February was overbooked. You have one apartment, it's been booked. How can it then get overbooked? I think we all know what really happened there. And booking.com's answer was, we'll refund you, but that will take 7 to 10 days. In the meantime, here's some other accommodation options. Okay, so I've got to pay for that with what money? You've still got my money from the last one. And we will help you with paying you, I think it's like €205 or something, we will give you towards other accommodation on top of obviously getting your money back. That's great, except you get it back after you've paid for the place and stayed there, for one. And two, €205 is Easter weekend in Paris and it's the day before. The prices were crazy because they would be. In the end, found somewhere without losing too much money, and it was a lot further away and it just made everything more difficult transport wise for us. So yeah, that was very stressful. But going to Paris, yeah, Eurostar trip, great, as normal. We were getting hyped up. I was wearing my Han Quokka and Dweki headband, just, you know, so to make sure if there was any stays anywhere, we were going to find them. So we went to a restaurant called Pinky Bloom. It's exactly what I knew immediately that Erin and I would love. Of course, everyone was on board once they saw the pictures and the Instagram. I'll tell you what, I'll put a link in the description to their website or Instagram in case you want to have a look. Yeah, really pretty. A small place, really friendly. Took so many pictures. And the food. There's not many options on the menu, but I think everyone except Kat had the chicken. It was so nice. It was really, really good. Once we'd finished in Pinky Bloom, Erin, Alex and I were going to go and take lots of pictures of ourselves. We took some outside the restaurant. We took some in the restaurant. We took some outside the restaurant. We went down to the river. There's a really nice viewing point down there for some photos. We went over to the Eiffel Tower by the carousel and took some pictures there. I mean, it was crazy busy. Then we went to a small street that I knew of nearby, up a lot of stairs, with a really great viewpoint of the Eiffel Tower behind you. And we took a load of pictures there and some of Dweki and Han Quokka that we had with us. So yeah, that was nice. So on the Saturday, Kat, Erin and JD went to the catacombs. Alex and I had a bit of a later start and we went down to the Champs-Elysees, had breakfast there, just wandered in a few shops. We found a shop where had loads of K-pop albums, and we spent some time looking in there. And whilst we were in there, actually, a lovely girl, it's Skazoo Wears. She makes outfits for your Skazoo characters. I have Dwacky in his. She gave us these really cute custom-made outfits for Musicbank for Dwacky and Alex's Han Quokka. And yeah, so check her out on Instagram and Twitter and all of those. I'll put a link down for her. Yeah. Then Kat, Erin and JD met up with us. We went to the Louis Vuitton store, which, if I had the money, the handbags. But then it was time to grab a lunch to go and head back to get ready for Musicbank. I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast. It's just there's a lot of things to say, and this could end up being such a long video, and I just want to get the information out, especially while it's fresh in my mind. Alex and I wanted to get to the venue early just to see what's going on, because as we know, at K-pop events, there's always people doing little meetups. There might be random dance plays, there's people handing out freebies, and just a good atmosphere, you know, which we did not find, and it wasn't the fault of the people attending. So we were really excited. We got to the venue and it was just people. Well, firstly, walking through to it, we could see tents in the bushes around the area because people had been camping out, I think, since the Tuesday to be at the front to get barricade, which is crazy to me. I have never done that in my life, and I never will. So yeah, it was just a mass of people, and you're walking along this mass of people thinking, is there something going on there I don't know about? Is it a queue? Is that the standing bit? I've got a seat. Do I need to go? Where's the entrance? It's got a coloured zone on it and a section number, like entrance number. Do I need to go around to that? It's around the other side. So you walk all the way around. There's just people everywhere. There were people handing out some free bits, and there was like a bit of a small random dance play going on, but there was just so many people that, one, you couldn't see anything anyway, and two, if you were looking to go and join those things, you couldn't find them because it was just people, and no staff. Couldn't find a single member of staff. So we went right round the other side to find another queue that was going down around a street, but no one actually knew what it was for. They just said, we were just told to queue here. So we went back to where there was more people, and we found a stand that was the company that I think were running it. I'm not sure. And we found a lady there, and we said to her, showed her our tickets, like, where do we need to go? What queue should we be in? And she literally just said, I'm really sorry about this. We had planned for separate queues for different things, but so many people turned up so early that it's just a free-for-all now, and we can't section it. There's just too many people. And, she was genuinely like, I'm really sorry, there's nothing I can do. Yeah, for me, it was very clear, and this is the fault of Musicbank, because they know K-pop events, and the venue, because, there should have been more communication between the two. K-pop events are not like other concerts. People are going to come early. One, there will be the people that will camp out to be at the front. That's how serious this is. And two, people are coming early, like I said, for all these different things that normally go on around a K-pop event. If they had been organised and ready for that, I think in their heads, doors opened 2 hours before the show. In that 2-hour window, you're going to have a steady stream of people arriving and going through, which is not how it happens for K-pop. We ended up just having to join a queue that became just a mass of people. Again, there was no staff, no security. And to be honest, they're lucky that everybody there was calm and that it was hot, but it wasn't too hot, because it easily could have turned into a more serious thing with that many people just there with no idea where to go. So eventually we got through, round to our gate, we went in, we got to our seats. We had a decent view. I think the issue is that the The standing area in this arena is so big that even though your seats are good seats, they're not that close. But do you know what? It is what it is. There's always somewhere else you could be that's better, you know. One of the benefits that we definitely did have was that to our left was the backstage, or part of the backstage area, the bit where they would do, you know, grab their mics, have a last minute makeup check and go round to join up on the stage, or to come round out the front to go to the centre stage. It was separated by a black curtain so the people on the floor couldn't see in. But where we were, we can see directly over it. And we're looking down like, oh, look, who's that? Is that the people going to be in the show? I can't see who it is. And then all of a sudden, Alex is gripping my arm and she is screaming, Hyunjin, it's beep, Hyunjin. And it was just this moment of awe. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if I was shaking, because I had in my head that we're going to go into this show, we're going to see all these acts, and Stray Kids the finale, so I've got some time with the other acts to warm up and be ready to see Stray Kids. But it hasn't started yet. I'm not ready, and I can see Hyunjin. And Hyunjin is then followed by Changbin. We know how I feel about Changbin, and he was there. And yeah, I know that Felix appeared and Chan appeared. Eventually they did all appear. But in particular, Hyunjin, he's got that curtain open so everyone can see him. And he's coming out and he's waving and he's dancing. And he was loving the attention. He was really feeling it. And Changbin, he was coming out there. And Felix was coming out. And they were just getting really into it. Seungmin came out and gave us kind of one royal wave and disappeared again. Crazy. Now, considering the amount of touring and traveling they have done in just the past few months alone, I always think, oh, they must be so tired, you know. Not Hyunjin. No. If anything, you think a manager would be grabbing hold of him saying, you've got to perform later, just calm down and save your energy. But yeah, they kept appearing. And I was scared that I was going to lose my voice before the start of the show, because by the time it did start, I had a really, really sore throat, because when I was screaming Changbin, the bin at the end comes with like a growl in my throat, and I was doing it so much. I didn't think I did it that much to start with, but I clearly did. It really hurt. The show starts and they bring all the acts out on stage and introduce them all. Of course, Stray Kids they had on the centre stage, and the place went crazy. There was a lot of stays there. So the show started with Enmix. Now, obviously, we haven't looked at them yet, but I really liked them. I thought they were really cool. I loved the outfits. It was like black and white, and I liked the choreo. It wasn't too bubblegum, if that makes sense with choreo. You know how sometimes with the girl groups it's all very cutesy, look pretty, but look like a delicate little porcelain doll at the same time. They were not like that. They were quite cool, and I really appreciate that. So they did 3 songs. Looking them up, because obviously we haven't looked at them yet, so I don't know what the songs were. So it's Love Me Like This. Is it, I don't know if it's 0.0 or like 00 or what, and Young, Dumb, Stupid. Yeah, I enjoyed all of their songs. I turned to Erin and said, I think your husband will really like them, so she's going to recommend them to him. And yeah, here's some clips of NMIX. So next up were P1 Harmony. Now, I don't know whether a lot of the crowd are fans of P1 Harmony or whether it's just the songs that they did, but the place erupted, and the 2 songs were so good. They were real hype anthem type songs. Whilst they were on, I was thoroughly enjoying it, and Kat, who's particularly fussy with her K-pop groups, just turned around to us and said, we need to look at them. Like, she was fully on board. So the 2 songs they did were Back Down and Follow Me. But yeah, really cool with their choreo, sounded good vocally. From what I could hear, there was a girl sitting somewhere near us, you'll see in the video clips, who clearly really loves her P1 Harmony. So she was all in and having the time of her life. So here's the clips of P1 Harmony. got a surprise. So we are expecting to watch all these acts leading up to Enhypen and Stray Kids as the last 2 acts. But, and I say this was a really good decision from Musicbank, they had Enhypen come out and do a special stage. So we were stunned that they were already there. And at the sight of them, we were really just like, oh my God, they're there now. I wasn't expecting this. What's going on? And they did Polaroid Love. Now, we haven't done that one yet, but I had it in my head for days afterwards. And you know what? When I edit this video with the video clip, it's going to be in my head again. So we have to do it soon so I can have it on the playlist, because it was really cute. They sounded really good. And yeah, everyone was just so happy to see them. And yeah, they looked amazing. They were just so cute. So cute. Have a look for yourself. Video quality isn't great, because I was actually through these performances trying to get them on camera whilst also trying to change settings on the camera to try and get the best footage that I could, the best quality. So it got better as it went further on, but not as good as I would like. I really need to look into the settings for this phone. Then we had a group I was really excited to see, the Sassy Women of Mamamoo. Now, what I love about Mamamoo is that they are women. They're not teenage girls. They're not trying to act or look like teenage girls. They're very much saying, we're grown women. We're going to talk about things that grown women talk about, and we're going to act and dress like grown women. That is no shade to the younger groups. They're younger, they're behaving like that, but Mamamoo aren't. And they're just showing that not only the young girls are bringing it. So I say young, like Mamamoo aren't young as well. They're just not as young as the idol groups we're seeing coming through now. So they looked amazing. I loved the outfits. I love how they all have their own style. And they were beautiful. Vocally perfect, as expected. I love their choreo because it's cool and sexy, and they're not trying to downplay their sexiness, but they don't overdo it either, you know? It's just perfect. The music, I loved every song that they did. Didn't know any of them as in having done them. I know some of them were familiar from when we did the Killing Voice, but they did Ilela, Starry Night, Decalcomany, Hip, and Yeah. My main takeaway from Mamamoo was just that I want to hang out with them. They're so cool. And of all of them, seeing Moonbyul perform in person, she might be the coolest person I've ever seen. I was saying this to the girls all the time. I was like, she's just so cool. Like, I want to be Moonbyul. That's it. another good decision from Musicbank. We had some surprise special stage covers. So Enmix came back out and they performed TT by Twice. I don't know the songs. We haven't done Twice yet, but I know that Twice are really popular. And everyone was really excited for this song and singing along. The girls performed well. Again, they just cool and fun. Here's a clip of Enmix doing TT. But here's some clips of Mamamoo. So then P1 Harmony came out. Now, the clip I've got for this song is very short because I did something that I did the first time I saw ATs. I held my phone up thinking I was recording. I hadn't pressed the button because, yeah, I only literally caught the end of the song because I was thoroughly enjoying it. Hadn't noticed that I hadn't pressed record. But before I say what song this is, okay, Erin was singing this song on the way home, except that Erin was doing her own version, which is her misheard lyrics. And she was asking us, well, she was asking JD, what was that song, and singing her version. And JD was looking at her like, what are you talking about? So I'm going to tell you Erin's version. Then I would like you to pause this video and put in the comments with the timestamp what song you think it is before I say so. Okay, so Erin's version is two Bettys, one car. So hopefully you've put your comment in. Yeah, it's NCT Two Baddies. So yeah, we looked it up and had a good old laugh about that. But for us, we will forever, well, we haven't even done that song yet, but once we do, we will be forever singing two Bettys, one car. But again, P1 Harmony, bringing a lot of energy. So here's the tiny clip I have of that. So then we got our first look at Gravity. I don't know how many are in the group, but it seemed like a lot. And they came out in their lovely black outfits and performed Gambler by Monster X. Now again, we haven't done Monster X yet, so we don't know the song, but it was a bit sexy. They came out a bit sexy and I was like, oh, where has this come from? Can I check how old these guys are first? But yeah, it was a really good song. It went down really well. Alex was particularly excited because she loves Monster X. So yeah, a good intro for Gravity. Here's a clip from that. So with that, we thought the covers section was done. But then P1 Harmony appeared back on the centre stage, Gravity stayed on the main stage, and it started. That by Psy and Sugar. Now, the place erupted. It was like being back at BTS Club Night when that song starts. Everyone is screaming, we're all singing, they're performing the choreo, and it was just so much fun. Again, a great decision by Musicbank. So for us, it's fun to be enjoying that song in the atmosphere it belongs in, which is in a crowd. And for the artists, one, it must be fun to get to perform with another group. And two, to be performing a song like that, let's be honest, they're human too. They've danced around to it at home and tried to learn the choreo. They clearly have and can do it well. I tried. And so, yeah, that was so much fun. And here's a clip from that. So next up, and you might have been in the video for the last one, doing that choreo and singing whilst making their way to the stage, is the boys. Now, again, I've heard of the boys, just haven't got around to looking at them yet. I was really impressed with them. There's a lot of them. I really like their outfits. They looked really cool. And the choreo I was really impressed with. But I think it helps when you've got that many members. They just do some really cool formations and stuff. And they just, really good performers. So they did 4 songs. They did Raw, Maverick, Thrill Ride and Clover. Out of those, I really remember Maverick. That I really enjoyed that one. They also did a dancing challenge game thing with some of their time, which is, I said, that's the opportunity I took to run to the loo and to the bar. So I missed that, but it seems to be going down well. Everyone was having a good time. So here's my clips from the boys. Gravity were back. Again, love the outfits. They've gone for like a red and black, a bit of white kind of theme. So they did 2 more songs. They did Groovy and Party Rock. Now, these are songs that I would be dancing around my bedroom to. They were the ones that we didn't know them, but you couldn't help but dance because they were just really, really fun. Again, great performers, some fun choreo. Yeah, I mean, here's my clips from Gravity. So then we had Ivor, who came out and did 5 songs. Now they came out all dressed in white, very pure, very pretty girls. I wasn't a fan of the all white, but it's their outfits. If they're happy with it, it's none of my business. Now, I thought they were cute and they sounded good vocally, but they didn't seem confident and they were quite stiff. But I don't know whether the stiffness was actually the choreo, because whoever is choreographing them, can I say, they're young women, not porcelain dolls. You know, the girls can do the same choreo as the boys can do. And it really frustrates me to see the girls being given very cutesy, just do this with your arms stuff. When, yeah, these girls are trained in dance the same as the boys are. So why can't they have some of the same cool choreo? Yeah, so that I found frustrating. But I did enjoy the songs. They did Kitsch, Afterlike, My Satisfaction, 11 and Love Dive. Afterlike, I recognised immediately, having heard it at a K-pop club night, because it was really popular there and I did really like it. And I think it was Kitsch as well that I liked. And to think that what we looked it up whilst we were there, one of the members was only 16. I would not have been able to be up on a stage, let alone doing any of that at 16. So, you know, wow. And then you add in, of course, with Enhypen and Nikki being like 17. Amazing that they can do that young. Here's my clips of Ivor. So next up we had more surprises. So we had Solar from Mamamoo come out and do a beautiful vocal. She did a song from Ratatouille. It's one of those songs, I don't know the name of it, and I haven't seen Ratatouille, but it definitely sounds familiar. But she sounded lovely. Sadly, my video of her, you can't see her well because of the spotlight that's on her, but she sounds great. Here it is. So then we had 3 members of the boys, I believe it was, who came out and sung a song from a K-drama. And they had the MC, I believe his name is Park Bogom. He came and played the keyboard for their performance, which was a nice little extra thing, from him, because he'd popped out obviously to be the MC, but we didn't get to see a lot of him, and he is a very handsome man, very handsome. Here's a clip of that. Then we got into AB6. Now, AB6, good performers, like the outfits, cool choreo again, sounded good vocally. For me, they didn't hit as hard as like P1 Harmony and some of the others, but I can't pinpoint why that is. It could just be a me thing, and that maybe they're not a group for me. But they weren't doing anything wrong. They were good. There was someone sitting near us again, very loud, very big fan for them. Yeah, and they did 4 songs. So they did Sugarcoat, Breathe, Complicated, and Saviour. So here's my clips of those. then we got into Enhypen. Well, actually, first we had some dance groups come out and do some dance performances to Enhypen songs, which is great that they're giving those groups an opportunity to come out on a big stage and show what they can do. But on the other hand, I'm a bit like, we could have had an extra Stray Kids song in that time. Just saying. It's what we come for, it's what we paid for. So yeah, Enhypen. Now they started their set with Drunk Dazed. And from the get-go of their set, they turned the place into a club. The lights were flashing, the music was loud, they were amazing. The place was going crazy, we were going crazy. And it was just, I mean, if I wasn't trying to hold my camera steady, I would have jumped even more. But it was like everyone was jumping around like crazy, screaming at them or singing along. And do you know what? Watching my videos back, the choreo, they're so in sync. It's like watching their performance. They'd taken the whole event to another level from where we'd been so far. In my video of Drunk Dazed, you will hear the moment that Jay made himself my bias in Enhypen. And I say made himself because I didn't choose this. It was forced upon me by him being him. As usual, I'm a victim in this. I went into this innocently to watch all of them. He made this happen. This is on him. So here's my clip of Drunk Dazed. So next they did Fever, which we haven't done yet, but it was mentioned in the comments. It's a sexy song, isn't it? Yeah, the choreo was very nice, and I'm concerned if that has an MV, what is that MV like? Concerned. Yeah, here is my video of Fever. October, they did Tamed Dashed. Now, we did know this one, and again, they just turned the place into a club, and all these different coloured light sticks were going, and the choreo is so good, and they are just so in sync and amazing. There is nothing more I can say other than just showing you the clip. So next up, and I think unless Enhypen's comeback happens before we do our next reaction to them, this will be the next one, because they did Go Big or Go Home. This song went off. This is the song I need before I go to any club event. This is the one I need beforehand. Any K-pop club night I go to, this is going to be what I'm requesting, because it was amazing and I loved it. And the choreo, again, perfection. And yeah, it just, the place erupted again. Alex beside me, who does know Enhypen, said she did not know this song, and she was the same. She's like, I'm going home and I'm reacting to this immediately because it's amazing. So here is my clip of Go Big or Go Home. So Enhypen's final song was Future Perfect, Pass the Mic. Now when we reacted to this, I really liked it. Having seen it live, I now absolutely love it, and I listen to it a lot. It was so good. Yeah, so what I can say about Enhypen, having now seen them, is that when they next tour, if they come to the UK or just Europe, somewhere I can get to, I'm going. If they come to the UK and they do more than one night, I will be there for more than one night, because I absolutely want to see them again. 100% going. So here's Future Perfect. Pass the mic. and then kind of started to freak out a bit because I knew what was coming. Stray Kids. The whole reason we had bought the tickets and come to Paris in the first place. So they started with Case 143, which makes sense. Most recent title track. We went a bit crazy, screaming and singing and waving dwackies, and yeah, it was just amazing. Finally getting to see them. I mean, I've been a stay for 2.5 years now. I think it's since we did that first reaction to Backdoor, I was immediately in. And to think that there are people that have been in this much longer that have been waiting to see them, and we've finally got there. They were so good. As I said earlier on, with the touring they've done and everything, you think they must be tired, and they may well be, but it didn't show because they went for it and they were so good. They sounded great, especially when you're watching them do that choreo and carry on as normal, and you are seeing the voice come out of Felix in person. Yes, I know that's his voice, we've seen it many times, but to actually see it, there's still that part of you that's like, but live, is it really that deep? It is. And it was amazing. And I apologise through these videos for my screaming. I know that I was screaming at Changbin a lot. I screamed at Sungmin, I think, at points. I was screaming at Han. There was a lot of screaming people's names because I couldn't contain it. So yeah, here's my video of Case 143 in case you haven't already seen it on the Stray Kids video I did. confession, after case 143, I was a bit overwhelmed with it all, and I did have a little cry. It's only like a tiny one, but it was like, oh my god, like they're actually there. I'm watching Stray Kids. Changbin is there, and even as much as Changbin is like my number one bias in Stray Kids, I'm 3 Ratcha biased, plus everybody else. It's very difficult. But stays all have, no matter who your bias is, a special connection with Chan in particular. And to see Chan there, a man who just brings so much comfort, to see him there, it's quite overwhelming. Yeah. Here's one for the comments. Have you ever cried at a concert? So then they blessed us with Maniac. I was going to say possibly one of my favourite Stray Kids songs, but again, really hard to narrow that down in favourite Stray Kids songs because there's a lot. Mainly with this one, I was thinking I'm going to see live Poppin' from Changbin, which did not disappoint. Again, they perform it great. It's so interesting to see their choreo because they did this on the centre stage. It's so interesting to see it from a different angle because obviously we're used to seeing it as that front on, how they want you to see it. But what we could see was from to the side and behind. So we were seeing the members that obviously moving to one side and sitting, like crouching down out of the way and then coming back in or moving around, which is always really interesting to see how they move within each other on stage. I know there was a lot of complaints about the camera work at Musicbank in general, but particularly because they did not put the camera on Changbin for Poppin', which everybody knows that's where the camera goes at that moment. Which is a mistake on their part because ask any stay, they could have told you that. It wouldn't have taken you much to find that out. But to be honest, I didn't actually know at the time because I didn't really watch the big screens much, to be honest. I was focused on the stage. But yeah, that's a shame. But here is my video of Maniac.
Let's go! Woo!
we were thinking, what's next? You know, Stray Kids have got so many songs. Are we going to get maybe a ballad? Are we going to get something from Accident? Are we going, you know, what are we going to get? And as soon as the music started, we didn't know what to do, because it was God's Menu, and it's that one of those iconic songs, and you just start to freak out, lose your shit, because we didn't think we'd get to see it live, because it's been so long since Stray Kids have been in Europe, and obviously the tour they've been doing has been the Maniac tour, and they added in the Accident stuff. So, you know, we thought they're only going to do newer stuff, and we're never going to get to see these older things perform live. So when God's Menu started and Changbin comes in, oh my God. It was complete disbelief for most of the song. And again, hearing Felix do his cooking like a chef. Wow. Amazing. Here is my video of God's Menu. As you can see, there's nothing like being in an arena full of people going do 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 do. Yeah, so again, after God's Menu, we're thinking, oh, what's next then? I mean, this could be anything. And the music started, and oh my God, it's Miro. Again, the happiness, the joy. Miro, being one of their much older songs now, and for Erin and I, it's like our song. We go a bit crazy when Miro is involved. And do you know what? It was perfect, because the whole crowd went crazy. And what I loved most is, as much as we have light sticks for different groups, and you know that they sync up the colours and do all of that, because it was such a mix of groups, there was so many different light sticks, and they were all different colours, and it just made a really great view, just all these different colours everywhere and just waving and jumping around. And I feel like Stray Kids seemed really excited to be performing Miro. So here is my video of Miro.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So here is where things get negative again. So the show was supposed to be from 6 or 6:30 until 10:30. That's what was advertised the whole time. That's what had been advertised. Now at this point, Stray Kids had come on and they'd just done Miro and it's 9:40 and we're thinking, oh my God, we're going to get more than we thought. We were expecting 4 songs going into it. But once Stray Kids came on and it was still early, we thought we could get an hour of Stray Kids here. This is amazing. But yeah, at 9:40, Stray Kids do Miro. The whole place is going crazy. We're so hyped. And having had God's Menu and Miro, we're thinking, what could be next? This could be anything. I'm so excited. And then Stray Kids basically say, thanks for coming. We're Stray Kids. Bye. And they leave the stage. First of all, that was confusing because we'd just got really hype. But second of all, we're thinking, oh, they're doing that thing where you say goodbye and then you come out like for an encore and do another 2 songs. Okay, makes sense. But then this like slow, sad music starts playing and all the groups come out and they start like naming each group again and saying goodbye and waving, and there's like confetti and stuff from everywhere. And we couldn't say goodbye to these groups because everyone is just looking at each other going, is it really finished? I mean, look at the time. What's going on? Isn't it going till 10:30? And people are on their phones going, yeah, it definitely says 10:30. You know, all these people just looking at each other for an answer from someone. Nothing. Of course, all the acts came out into the middle and waving, and we were trying to enjoy just being able to see them, thinking, you know, maybe they are going to come out after they've done this bit. It's a bit odd to hype us up, bring us down and all of that, but okay. But they didn't. They were doing their goodbyes, and literally a staff member came onto the stage to this side, the main stage, and was literally doing that, like, come on, like trying to get them people back off the stage. And I was a bit like, okay, one, that looks really unprofessional to have this staff member randomly on stage calling people back. 2, it seems really, really rude. Yeah. So a load of them came back and it just left Stray Kids. They obviously were saying goodbye and leaving. But Hyunjin, as I said, Hyunjin was loving it. Hyunjin, I've done a video, I had it I think on Shorts and Reels and TikTok and all of that, where I call him Stray Kids' biggest kid, because he's running around arms out like an aeroplane around the stage, just loving being there and having a great time. of them. But there's something going on with Sungmin this recently, something. Yeah, and they were gone, and we were all stood there, and Erin said, oh no, they're coming back out because they haven't put the lights on yet. They normally, leave it, they come on, all of that. And as she said that, the lights came on, and we'd seen the act leave down the side where we could see them, and it was done. And we were kind of like, where's the 45 minutes that's left of this show? There wasn't. So we left. What's a shame is that all the performances were really good. We were really enjoying the night. But it meant that at the end, instead of coming home happy, but being like, oh, can't wait to see them again, we came out disappointed and confused. And a bit pissed off, to be honest, that, hang on a minute, you've told us one thing. And then getting out, of course, it was the same problem as getting in. It was just a mass crowd with no signs, no staff, no anything. We ended up having to come out of the crowd for the metro because it was just chaos. And it was one of those, again, incidents where there's no staff or anything. If anything happens here, people are going to be in trouble because there's nowhere to go. You can't get out of this crowd. We managed to slowly make our way towards a side, eventually get out and go and get a taxi from much further away. But it was horrible. Especially because I do attend a lot of concerts in the UK and football. I go to football all the time. So I'm used to these crowds leaving events and going onto public transport. But this was crazy because there was nowhere to go and it wasn't moving and there was no police people in charge, nothing. Adding to that, obviously you've got so many people speaking different languages that when everything is being shouted in French, you're relying on someone around you to translate it for you. And as much as I appreciate we are in France, it's going to be in French. This is an event that they knew had people coming from all over Europe. So even some signs in a couple of different languages, and maybe the most common ones, would have been helpful. We got home, but we were all quite deflated, to be honest, having had such a good time, and then and going online and seeing that everyone was feeling the same, and there was no answers. We still don't have an answer as to why it was cut short. I don't know whether there was an issue with the venue because of the chaos outside before the event, that maybe licenses or something, because I know that before the event the police were called because of the crowd being so big and there being no help. The next day we were up and back into Paris. We went to Maison Sauvage for a brunch, which was really good, a very pretty place. And then it was time to say goodbye to Alex because she had to go and catch a flight. We went up to the Basilica, it's a Sacré-Cœur, I think it's called, because all the times I've been to Paris I've never been up there. Kind of know why now, there's a lot of stairs. But no, it was a great day. The sun was shining, it was a just beautiful, great view of Paris from up there. Really, really busy, but it was Easter Sunday, so yeah, just a lot of people around. We took a stroll around Montmartre, where we split up again because JD and Kat went to the Hard Rock Cafe, whilst Erin and I went to Galeries Lafayette, the one with the beautiful dome in the middle. And whilst looking at that dome, we both started singing. And then we realised that we were singing because they were playing Benny Blanco, BTS and Snoop Dogg, Bad Decisions, and that's why we were suddenly singing. So that was fun, walking around singing along to that. We also went up to their roof terrace, which again, great views of Paris and free to go up to. Again, I'll put links in the descriptions to these places because they're well worth a visit. We then decided that the others had gone to the Hard Rock Cafe for dinner, but Erin and I needed Korean food. So we found a place, I think it was called Jan, not far from the shopping centre. Again, I'll link it below because the food was so good. I had a beef bibimbap and Erin had a chicken bibimbap, and we had kimchi pancake, we had soju, and it was a really nice place. The food was really good. We get back to the hotel, we're getting ready for bed, Chan goes live. So yeah, we just laid on the beds and watched Chan's live, which was kind of surreal to be laying there watching Chan going like, he is in a hotel in Paris and we're in a hotel in Paris, but it's not the same one. Yeah, hearing him talk about his bed bugs. So that was, do you know what? It kind of rounded off a Stray Kids based weekend nicely to be watching Chan's room with him talking about Musicbank a little bit. So yeah, the next day we went home, no dramas there, but we got off the Eurostar onto the London Underground, again, just Erin and I at this point, and Erin starts saying to me, so how much was your ticket for Lollapalooza? Because, maybe I could come. Basically, she couldn't cope with not knowing when she would see Stray Kids again. I had preempted this, and that's why I'd already made sure I had my Lolla stuff sorted. So then, yes, whilst on the Underground, she caved and bought tickets to Lolla. So she will be joining myself and Alex and two of Alex's friends at Lolla. So yeah, that was our trip to Paris and Musicbank. It's a long one, but yeah, a lot happened. So yeah, hopefully I can do another video like this, probably with Erin, for Lollapalooza. So yeah, thanks for watching, especially if you've watched this far. If you went to Musicbank, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you, or I'll see you on the next one. Bye.